Tap, tap in. Diamonds dancing on your neck, better tap in. Tap, tap, tap.
Then I might consider if he always got his partners with him. I might leave him quicker. Hell no, I don't want no childish. Give me dollars, put some money in my bank just like you hit the lotto. Look, you can keep it pimpin', now I'm gone. I know you miss me. Used to text good morning, now you stopped that's inconsistent. I've been in my bed, don't got time to be in my feelings. Ladies, listen, I ain't talking about fitness when I say these.
Okay. I'm like, make a new track, make them fall on they crack. Give them a slap appetizer and stack up so fat in the back, make the boys all collapse. Yeah, when I rap, that be all on my jack. Boys wanna tap on this. Got a new idea, let me switch it. Man, I'm so futuristic. Big lips and big hips. Body be thick like a biscuit. I'm different, rippers, microphone gripping it. Getting these Benjamins, new car whipping it.
I'm going back, where my roots ain't watered down. Growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. My ancestor put me on game, on charm, on gold chains, with my old shoe energy. Drip all on me. Uncle that she keep it. Hola, Jonas, Stella, Sacha, nah, chopper, instant. Yeah, pure ice, bust down, flood it. On my wrist, body come around my way, around my eye. Whenever mama says so, mama said, here I come on my throne, sitting high. Follow my parade.
Great job, Dance District. Dancing on Zoom. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you so very much. Hi, everyone. So my name is Ana Ogbueze, and I am the founder of NC Dance District. What you just saw was a little snippet performance from some of the dancers that come and take class at the studio. We've even had, that piece was actually choreographed by two instructors from here, Charity and Roxy Lee, and then another student named Naya. Myself, I choreographed a portion of it, and then even there was a snippet from Phil Wright out of LA. So that was their little snippet, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Ana, thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you to everyone from NC Dance District. That was a great opening. And the first time that we featured anybody other than a singer, I think, as an opening for one of our events. So that was awesome. Thank you, Ana. Good evening, everybody. I am Arlethea Hailstock, and I, along with my friend Tiffany Bryant Jackson, are co-chairs of Diversity on and Off Stage. And we just want to thank you for joining us tonight. Obviously, our first event of the year 2021. We survived 2020 by the skin of our teeth. So thank you for being with us tonight. As you can tell, tonight's theme is dance and the dance community, not just in Charlotte, but we want to focus on our artists here in Charlotte. The moderator for tonight's event will be our vice chair, the one, the only, the lovely, the talented Ana Ogbueze. So she threw it to me. I'm gonna throw it right back to her. Actually, before we do that, since Ana has already told us about our dancers, our opening act for tonight, we're gonna go to Kale for a little bit of an icebreaker. Kale, you're up, friend.
Hi, thanks, Arlethea. Hi, everyone, welcome. I appreciate it. We wanted to start off by just creating some interaction. This event is intended to be a dialogue in two ways. So instead of just talking at you, we wanted to create a little bit, and we found a fun way to do it. I have here some great dance trivia. I want to see what you know. So go ahead and open up the chat. You can see down at the bottom where it says chat. And let's see who can answer the fastest some of these dance trivia questions. First, this is an easy one. This is a softball. Who had a hit song with The Twist? Who was it? Let me see it in the chat. Everybody participate, throw it in there and see who can come up with it. Caroline Killush said Chubby Checker. It was an easy one. The Fat Boys. Oh, you know what? Joe is technically correct. The Fat Boys did also do a remake of The Twist. All right. What 1920s, 1930s dancer is known as Jazz Cleopatra and Creole Goddess? This is a dancer from the 20s and 30s. So let's see in the chat who that is. As a hint, she was the first Black woman ever to star in a major motion picture. And even in the 20s and 30s, she refused to perform for segregated audiences. I see. I don't see the right answer yet. Again, as a hint, she's been portrayed in film over 20 times, including HBO's The Josephine Baker. Oh, and Facebook said Josephine Baker, even before I gave that clue.
How fabulous do you have to be known as the Creole Goddess? My goodness.
She was an amazing woman. Great. This is for all the dancers there. This is maybe not general knowledge. Who's the choreographer best known for Revelations? Revelations. Our dancers know this one. Here's a hint. Oh, look at that. Don't even need the hint. Alvin Ailey. Alvin Ailey is correct. Very good. Great. Oh, here's a tough one. What dance was named for a tribe in Africa? The specific dance that was named for a tribe in Africa. And as a hint, Chubby Checker and Smokey Robinson both had hits leveraging this dance in their songs. The name of the tribe that it comes from is the Tutsi tribe. Anybody know? Watusi.
Yeah, right there where the cursor is. Right now.
All right, I'm going to mute folks as we go. Feel free to unmute yourself if you get muted. Just if there's background noise, I'm going to continue. All right, what's another name for the whip? The dance, the whip. What's the other name for the song? Nay, 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 nay. I see nay, 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 nay. All right, all right, finish this lyric. Butterfly, nuh-uh, that's old. Let me see you, what? By the 69 Boys. You need me to, I'm gonna do a quick demonstration. Come on, Cal. Help? Yeah, Tootsie Roll, that's it, that's great. All right, the dance known as the Chinese typewriter was made famous by who? Who made the Chinese typewriter dance famous? Any guesses? I don't see any coming in. Oh, Hammer from Roxanne Miller. That's right. I can't touch this. This is the Hammer dance. I'll also demonstrate that one. As far as you know, I'm doing it. Finally, this is a great one. What Kennedy Center honoree is known for the quote, "You've got big dreams, you want fame? Well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying, in sweat." Who said that? Who is best known for that quote? A hint. As a hint, she was rejected acceptance to the North Carolina School of the Arts due to her body not being suited for ballet. But the North Carolina School of the Arts rejected her because of institutionalized racism. She was later given an honorary doctorate from that same school, the North Carolina School of the Arts. And I see Cameron said Debbie Allen. Several people said that was Debbie Allen. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you for participating. We hope you continue to participate all night. And I'm going to turn it over to Anna, I believe.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. I always love me some good old trivia. So thank you guys for participating in that. And again, I just wanted to show my gratitude for everyone that's here on this call. We know that 7 o'clock on a Monday night It's tough to get everybody together, but we really, really appreciate it. And special shout out to the choreographers and the teachers, because you're either coming out of a rehearsal right now or headed into one. So again, we thank you. My name is Ana Ogbueze. For anyone that is not familiar with me, I am the founder of NC Dance District, and we are an adult hip hop studio based here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we really aim to provide training and job opportunities for a huge diverse group of dancers from all walks of life. And so I'm very honored to be here today to moderate this, because I have been in Charlotte now 10 plus years, closer to like a million years now, it feels like. And I've seen the way the Charlotte dance community has evolved. I've seen the highs, the lows, I've seen the areas that we could work on a little bit better. And so tonight's phone call or Zoom call is to really hone in on a very specific item that I've seen within the dance community or have a personal experience with. And again, I'm part of a collective, Diversity on and Off Stage. So we're all artists in our own right. And tonight we are specifically focusing on the dancers to get your feedback. We've had multiple calls with the general art community, but this is now the dancers' opportunity to share experiences or insight, or if there is any issue when it comes specifically to race and injustices that a certain community of dancers might experience on a regular basis. Again, if you are first time here with Diversity on and Off Stage, our goal is to really amplify the voices of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and then also shed insight and solutions to those that may not be a part of that community, but are in support of that community. So I'm going to throw out a couple questions, and we are all dancers. We're all expressive people. For a lot of us, dance is life. It's invigorating, it's lit, it's all the things, and it's even home. So when our home is threatened by people that make poor decisions or people that operate out of fear, I think that it's important for us to come together and really talk about solutions so we can protect what is so sacred to so many of us. So when it comes to, again, I'm just gonna throw out some questions. It's a dialogue, so please just raise your hand icon if you would like to chime in or if you have something to share. So the first question to kind of top it off, is race an issue for dancers here in Charlotte? And if so, do we think that it's generational or systemic? For example, a dancer being raised to not affiliate with a certain race versus a dancer not having access to the same resources. If we had to maybe do a general assessment of how race plays a part in the Charlotte dance community, does anyone have any insight or experiences they would like to share as to if race is really an issue? Or are we still just artists and, you know, dance is all about your passion, not really your outer appearance?
Wow, first question out the gate.
We ready to talk.
Hang on, I'm always ready to talk. Yes, I believe it's both. So yes, there's a race issue. And yes, I do believe it's both systematic and also, I'm not sure what the word you used, but how people are brought up in the dance world, or how they're brought up in their community, how they're brought up in their walk of life. So it's a mixture of both, because we are artists are a reflection of our community. So if our community is like that, of course, our dance world is like that. And it breaks my heart because dance is passion. But it seeps down into the dance space. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's almost as if our passions are being threatened when people operate out of those spaces. So does anyone else have anything they would like to share, or maybe insight on that type of experience? Like, do you see it, or is it something that has never really crossed your mind? Yes. We have a hand up. I think it's Brady. Hi, Brady.
Yes. Hi, Anna. So I'm going to give my opinion based off experience. So I auditioned for a couple teams out in Charlotte, and just being in the dance industry as far as like auditioning for gigs and stuff like that. And I do feel like it's race, and then it goes into colorism as well. I feel like maybe it's I don't even know if it's a Southern thing, because I live in Pennsylvania now and I'm seeing it still too. Like certain teams are like trying to fill quotas of what they need. They need a couple of blondes, a couple of brunettes, some light skin, and then there'll be 1 or 2 dark skin. So it just feels like not only are you competing against dancers, you're also competing against your race, and then also competing against your color. So it just feels like another setback and another setback, and you have to like keep fighting to even get noticed based on that.
Wow, like that. I mean, thank you for sharing that. And I would say that, or I would be interested to know, because you did mention specifically the NBA, NFL, let's say there's the pro world side of dance, which is very subjective, and it is about having a persona and a look. But you spoke about something specific, colorism, and that is a really big issue. And I would like to also, keep the floor open to everyone. Does anyone that is not Black know what colorism really is, and like how that affects minorities when they are looking for opportunities? Yeah. Okay. Does anyone want to kind of share like how they view colorism and how it makes it either more difficult, or what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, anybody? Yes, Arlethea?
I just want to say, Anna, it may not even stop just at colorism, but just at the overall wider acceptance or celebration of a European look. So it might not even just be skin tone. It is hair, length of hair, texture of hair. You know, NBA cheerleaders love flipping that hair. I don't have no hair to flip, but just that overall more European look and style that doesn't end with just skin tone.
Yeah, no, I can agree. And
that's coming from a light skinned girl. But
yeah,
I know it's real,
it is very real. And I'll even speak from in another call with a different, I think it might have been on the general call, we were talking about tokenism and how, and I don't know if I mentioned that in that call, but for so long, I have been the token Black girl in either my teams or organizations or whatever. And it bothered me because I didn't want to fill a quota. I wanted to really be there because I deserved it. And I wonder, and again, this is for all different disciplines, NBA, pro team, dance companies, dance studio owners. When it comes to appearance, hair texture is a thing. And that is how so many people identify. If they don't have super bone straight hair, or if they have more textured hair, that really does affect the opportunities that sometimes are afforded to people of color. Anyone on this call have ever had to deal with that in regards to your outer appearance, or feeling the need to change your outer appearance to fit into the dance that you are pursuing? And that can be body type, that can be hair texture, that can be how you present yourself, how you talk, all those things. Yeah. Monique?
Yeah, I remember distinctly the first year I started being a professional dancer and being told that my look was long and straight and Black. And that's what I got paid to do. And, that was my look. Meaning, when I say that's what I got paid to do, meaning I kind of pushed back a little bit, and I was told that, well, you get paid. So what's the problem? Use that money and get the hair. So that was my look. And honestly, that was my look for 4 years. And I tried to switch it up on occasion, and it was never widely received at all. So I definitely can speak to that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's a big thing to kind of consider when dance is your livelihood and you're being told how to earn your monies, but still being restricted. We have a few questions too. Anyone else want to kind of expand on how, if dance is your primary livelihood, how you have to navigate in order to maintain? Anybody? Where are my choreographers or studio owners, or where has it been a thing for you guys? Have you caught yourself having to alter yourself to fit in order to get paid? And are certain opportunities only afforded for people that look a certain kind of way? And that can be with bookings, it can be with, you know, festivals, performances, anything in that regards.
I would say that I am aware of it. I'm Elsie, by the way. I know you know me, but I know everybody else in the call. So I am a company owner, a dance company owner, and I also am a dance educator in CMS. So dance is like all day for me. So with that perspective, I am aware of it. And I do feel pressure to change a lot. And that's why I'm very vocal and I'm very loud about why I would not change. I haven't pressured to change and not do the change, but there's plenty of situations where I'm assumed that we're going to do African dance every single time. When we have dancers who do everything, ballet, jazz, contemporary, all these things. But because I have, there, you over here, here's my babies. They're all natural, they on the hair texture, and they're black, and it's always assumed that we're going to do African dance, which we love African dance, but they also do other styles as well. So we do not allow them, like anybody, to put us in that box. So I just have to be vocal and not wait for the world to change to get that we're not going to be in this box. And I do encourage, but we have to be fluid in numbers, because I can't be the only voice. I can't be saying that and then someone else is saying different, and then we have to figure out a way to be fluid within our industry. And it changes, and I do see changing. But I want to touch on colorism, because I feel like colorism is, I never really heard a definition being put that, but it's really just about discrimination within the race. So dark, light skin, and all those things. And it's also a system, because you see your marketing, and it's in the marketing, it looks light skin is better. And then you see it in magazines. So in your mindset, that's what you feel like looks better. Even your own community feels like that looks better or it's better. And you don't realize it. And then you go into certain situations like gigs and everything until you say something about it. And so that's just what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's, you know, it makes me think of another question I wanted to segue in, and you kind of already answered it, but are there standards that exist in places where you like to work that are unrealistic or exclusionary, making it hard to move forward? And I would say, you know, feeling like you have to conform, being the only person that's standing up against the standard. Where does that courage come from, if I could ask you, Elsie? And what can other dancers that are part of the marginalized community do to feel more bold, feel more confident, feel more supported in speaking against this discrimination?
The courage comes from people on this call. I see my friends here. I see my dance friends here. I love that we're here together. But my courage really comes from my experience of being in a ballet academy since I was 3 years old, and told several times, your body is like, I had boobs and butt like at 11, and they weren't going away. So it started with the body shaming. It started with, then I realized, oh, I am the token. I'm the only Black girl in the class. I kind of like realizations of that. And then never said it to my face, which I think would have been better. But just moving me to the back, and I'm short, so while I'm in the back, moving me to the back. So all those things, since I was 3 to 18 in a ballet academy, it was trying to chip away at my soul. But until my mom was like, no, that's my baby. I'm paying for these classes, same money that you're paying. We're not doing that. So if she hadn't done that, I wonder if my self-esteem. So I would come there with a sports bra and everything. and keep it moving. But the courage comes from knowing what it really is about chipping away. And it's not only discrimination within race, it's discrimination within styles. Ballet is better than modern, and modern is it's like a reflection towards what we're going through with race that we already know. So it's double. The style plus I'm Black plus I'm a girl, all these things is all over the place. So the courage really comes from talking to others, and talking about it. It really makes me happy to be like, oh, you went through a bad day today. Let me tell you what happened here, and also not limiting talks to my Black friends, like my white friends. I talk to them, and everybody, because everybody's going through something and everybody has something to offer. So really the courage comes to talking about it, recognizing it, and then having the balls, like my mom, to say something.
Come on, mama. It takes a strong person around you to really uplift you. And I agree. I think everyone on this call is dope. I think y'all are amazing. I think us just being here and talking about the things is step one. And so if I may, just because I'm who I am, I want to talk to my non-Black people on here, okay? I want to talk to my allies, sisters, and brothers. This question, I think, would speak to what Elsie mentioned, which is having people like you on this call. And I don't want you to get nervous. I know I am unpredictable, but if have anyone, and again, you can just raise your hand if you feel comfortable speaking. Have any of you ever witnessed an unfair selection process or mistreatment in real time? And how did it make you feel? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you want to say something but didn't know how? Because I do think it's a two-way conversation. Like, yeah, we as Black people, or I'll just say marginalized people of color, we deal with it all the time, every day. But we do appreciate our allies being here, and we want to also help you be able to champion the change and feel comfortable and confident. So we both need it on both sides. So if anyone does feel comfortable, again, the question is, have you ever witnessed the unfair treatment selection process? Did something happen that made you say, why did they not pick her and they picked this person? Have anyone ever been in that situation, and then like, how did it make you feel?
Hi, Faith here.
Hi, Faith.
Thanks for letting me in on the call, and thank you for letting me listen. I'm all ears and open heart to wanting to learn more and be a better ally. So when I was in my late teens, my roommate was often the one that would get asked to dye her tights, to dye her shoes, to do her hair differently. And I watched her go through something I wasn't going through. And it led to some pretty upsetting things on her side. The parts she would get chosen for were different, and never really the lead, even though she might have been good enough for that. And so that was kind of my first experience seeing that. And at 17 at the time, which was years ago, but I didn't know how to handle that at that age. At 17, it was new to me, but she's still one of my best friends in the world. And now, having gone through that and learned a lot since that time, I now have changed my approach. And I teach at a high school, but I also pre-COVID taught at a studio and would talk with the studio owner about the color tights she would pick, or how she would ask the girls to do their hair. And I would say, well, have you ever considered allowing all of your dancers to choose like flesh tone tights or flesh tone shoes, and try to come at it from like celebrating everyone and like following the line of the body, and how they're like cut in half, like you're black on top and white on the bottom, and it just looks weird. And, but I'm not the boss of the studio. And so I felt like I could only push so far. And I was definitely pushed back on. I'm like, well, I want all the legs and the feet to look the same. And then they can celebrate who they are on top. And I was like, but don't you think that looks weird? And so I don't know how to push in a way when I'm not the one who's the boss. Obviously in a teacher at a high school, I can do things the way that, you know, I can talk to my students and I can have our course description say, you know, here are your options for, you know, you can buy the flesh tone tights and shoes that match your line and match your color and make you feel pretty and make you feel like you can be yourself. But I don't know how to do that in a setting where I'm not the one that's in charge.
Yeah, that can be that. Thank you, Faith, because it takes having friends that notice and are aware and pay attention and are bold. Not, I want to say bold enough, but it's the right thing to do. It's unfortunate, like that has to be an act of being bold, but you know, I think it would take having so many like-minded people support you and maybe be the ones that are opening up studios, be the ones that are leading organizations. So the change evolves. So it could be just shaking up the leadership, you know, that way individuals have choices and have options. And I see a lot of studio owners and some pioneers on here. I definitely want to get your input as well in how you've handled situations or what your approach is, and being mindful of having such a diverse group of either students, patrons, audience members. Are there any things, because again, we're not gonna have all the answers on this one call, but I definitely wanna just kind of throw out things that we can pull away from this. So does anyone have, or is anyone else that had anything that they witnessed, a friend or, in an unfair selection process? Anybody else want to chime in on that one? Yes. Oh, and then we have an iPhone. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know your name. I just see your ceiling. Hi. Oh, that's Brandy. So Brandy and then Cameron. I think that hand was up.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I could lower the hand. So never mind. Disregard me.
All right, Cameron, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have like a specific incident to point to, but I think that as I look around my dance experience in Charlotte, you know, the studios often still feel really segregated. Ballet is still like suggested to be like the basis of dance, which is ridiculous. And I think that pervasive segregation in studios and in opportunities and in spaces is like even almost more problematic or challenging to address than like specific incidents of injustice or, you know, poor treatment, because I think there are good people out there who would like to fix that problem but don't know how. And I'm with Faith. I'm not always in a position of authority, but like, how do we, you know, push even from the inside to make those changes in ways that, you know, allow us to keep our jobs and also offer opportunities to other people. And I think it sort of goes into the question that the next question you asked, Ana, which is, you know, what can we do as allies? And how do we integrate these spaces, right? I think also in Charlotte, we have the particular problem that our dance spaces are very segregated by genre of dance. And in that, we find segregation by race and culture as well, because different genres have more of different, you know, of one race or another. And so, I mean, I think that I guess I'm proposing that one of the things that needs to happen is that we need to find deeper integration across genre, and then that would lead to greater integration racially and culturally.
No, I totally agree. I think that would bridge the gap in the hierarchy of what is really considered dance and what is respected as dance, and then the communities that are attached to those specific disciplines. I would even go as far as saying, when it comes to venues or where certain shows or certain dance performances are being held, not always having it in just one area, but really trying to, you know, canvas the whole entire city, so then people of different communities get exposure to different types of dance. I think that's an issue. Well, it's always like the nicer venues are for, you know, ballet and modern, and then, you know, for hip hop, we have to go and make, you know, relationships or good friendships, or really try to sell ourselves in order to get access to those same spaces. So I think that it is changing. I know I can speak you know, as from a personal space, that there is progress happening, but there's so many smaller entities, smaller groups that aren't maybe a studio or a company that are, you know, still dealing with that. So that's great. I want to, I saw a couple of new people come on and it made me think of something. Anyone? Oh, Kelly. And Kelly hand up. Anyone else hand is up? And Caroline Kalush. So let's go Kelly and Caroline. Oh, that could be a song. All right.
Kelly and Carol. Okay. So I am Anna's business partner. So I actually inherited a diverse studio. And because we are hip hop, or started out as hip hop, a lot of people like the diversity in hip hop, or we try to make it more diverse. And so because now we're growing and we have different choreographers, our choreographers are more diverse, and we're doing more diverse styles. And Anna reaching out to like Charlotte Ballet and doing classes for other studios has helped us to diversify our audience. So I think, like you said, it is happening that we are starting to get a broader range of people in different styles and different genres of dance. But I think it has to start with the studio owners and the choreographers, and they have to form those relationships with other studios and other choreographers so that we can all intermingle in each other's space. And then that way dancers can find out about different choreographers, and then we can all be one big happy family at some point.
Yes, thank you, Kelly. That's why I like you, girl. Yeah, it definitely is from the top down. You know, our leaders, our pioneers, those that help pave the way for what dance is now, it has to come from us. We have to unite and we have to support that broader vision. So yeah, I totally agree. Caroline, you want to chime in? Caroline,
sure. Hey, y'all. I totally agree with that. I just also know as a studio owner, it's very hard to start broadening into different genres. So starting with one, like Anna, like you've done with hip hop, and then growing to different styles of hip hop and different diverse faculty. Like, I think that's a really smart way. And that's what we've tried to do, because doing everything, it's just too much. And we'll get there. But my other thing was going back to the ballet tights idea as a potential solution, the idea of calling in versus calling out, potentially seeing who else, because there has been some more development, especially in 2020, on dress code. And I'm thinking, I want to say Dance Theater of Harlem, and there's probably definitely some other folks who have like been vocal about giving dress code and tight colors an option, and aligning yourself with other folks like that and calling other people in, like, our dress code is this, to make everybody feel more comfortable, instead of, so maybe Faith, back to what you were saying, that might have, your director at that other studio owners who aren't doing that might say, oh, well, I want to join the club. And maybe that's a way to, in a way, passive-ish way, but not aggressive and mean, but just joining in.
Thank you for that. Smart. Yes, it's all about strategy. Arlethea, gonna chime in?
Anna, I just wanted to mention some really great stuff that's happening in the chat, in case folks were not able to watch or are listening to the conversation and not watching the chat. But Cameron said, I also think teaching a diverse and inclusive history of dance within white spaces, so we're developing respect in young dancers of all genres. Yes, yes, yes.
Is that Mr. Chris Thompson?
That was Cameron Watson.
Oh, Cameron Watson. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I agree. Education and legacy and history, like where everything started, that's your foundation. We as dancers, we don't know about foundation. We have to have it when we dance, So we have to also build our community, strengthen our community on that strong foundation. And it goes back to, again, leadership, but then also the younger generation knowing who is in leadership and knowing who the pioneers are, which makes me think of another question. I see a few dancers that are either working in other markets, have transitioned from Charlotte to other markets, or in between. So this question goes to, everyone can chime in if you have anything to contribute, but it specifically is for those that may be, well, who's a Charlotte native? There's not a lot of us. Okay. Hi, Charlotte in the building. And then if you've moved to another city or if you have experience in other markets, how does those markets compare to Charlotte? Yes, we are in the Bible Belt, we're in the South. Is there a big distinction when it comes to race? I think it was Brandy that mentioned the difference between the teams. So for the other dancers, have you noticed something compared in your market compared to the Charlotte market?
I'll go. Hi, everybody. I'm Alexis Carr. I'm originally from Charlotte myself. I recently moved to Atlanta in 2018. Still finding my way as a professional dancer, but you have to speak it into existence. So I am a professional dancer. I'm trained in like ballet, tap, jazz, a little bit of hip hop, heels. I will say there, and I am a little nervous, so sorry if I'm shaking my voice, but I'm very passionate about it. That's why I'm nervous. But I think that, like you guys said, to start off before I answer the question, there is a big barrier because of history. Like, as we know, everything going on in the world, number one, with the diversity and trying to make the United States one. I mean, it starts from the world, first of all. I know dance is our community, but it's a big picture with that situation. And so it starts there of already being segregated, just being in life. And then we bring dance into the picture where things weren't fortunate for us as African Americans. Like, it wasn't something that was given to us. Like, we had to fight to be able to go to a dance studio or even train in dance. And there were so many other worries that we worried about other than dance. Mm-hmm. So I think to start there, that is already like a setback with when you talk about location and you talk about knowing different styles of dance. Maybe they never learned about those styles of dance because they never had the opportunity to even know that those were styles of dance. Sorry. Am I still here?
Yes.
Okay, I had a call come in, sorry. So sometimes it's the lack of knowledge of knowing different things and what you're used to maybe as an African American is seeing hip hop. So all you go to is hip hop. I know originally I didn't even know I could be a professional dancer. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was something that what could be a career for me, So as opposed to someone who may be fortunate and a different style or used to doing that. So I think the number one thing is bringing the knowledge of the different styles of dance to everyone, because someone may not know that there are so many genres of dance that you can be a part of. And then as far as the market, I think it is very diverse. I would say here in Atlanta, it is predominantly African American in the dance industry. And I think sheltered to hip hop and like urban style dance, but we have Anthony Burrell who came here and brought his whole dance company. So I think things are changing. I think it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that takes a process, but this right here is helping already. The fact that we can sit and have a conversation about it is already a plus to the dance community, that dancers don't even know what's going on right now, that we're setting this up for them to be able to do different things. And Ana, thank you for inviting me to this because I'm very passionate about this. And I've just learned a lot about the community that because I'm only 26, so I'm still learning things. But to me, dance was just dance. All I knew is to catch a step, learn how to kick my leg or whatever. So it's nice to be on the outside of it to actually see how much it means to people, that it is a career and it's bigger than just dancing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah,
sorry to go on a rant, but yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You 26, but you wise, girl. And again, to go back to the comparison to the different markets, and you can chime in again if you want to, Alexis. But did anyone leave the Charlotte market because of lack of opportunities? And
definitely,
and then for those that came into Charlotte, why did you transfer? Did you come to Charlotte for dance, or was it just, it's cheaper to live here, there's more things to do? How is the dance profile as a whole for those that are transplants, rather?
I didn't know if anybody wanted to go, but I personally moved for more opportunities. I didn't feel like now I think it's very different. I think that you all have brought a lot of new opportunities for dancers, just for them to be able to train and not have to go out of town, because we all know it's very expensive to get to one place to another. Then you have to pay for the class, pay for somewhere to stay. So just being able to have those industry dancers come is a big difference, because I don't feel like when I was there, I don't think it was that many people coming from out of town teaching and everything. So I think that already has been a progression within the dance community in Charlotte. But that was my original reason for moving, is to pursue my dance career a little bit more, be able to train in more industry style classes, because I didn't feel like they were offered that much in Charlotte. I also don't think there was enough auditions to book jobs there. So I would say I definitely moved to become a more, I guess, working professional dancer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. That is a big thing. And I think that's the broader issue, I think, when it comes to the dance industry, is providing those opportunities, but keeping in mind of inclusion, keeping diversity in mind, keeping respect and mindfulness at the forefront. Anyone else want to chime in on that topic before we go to another question? Oh, Brandy, yes.
Hi, I was just gonna dang, I lost my train of thought. Basically, okay, piggybacking off of moving to a different market, I think it's good for anybody if you have the opportunity to move out to bigger markets like Atlanta or LA or whatever, and then kind of like what Alexis does, or people who go out and learn these different styles, they bring it back to where it all started for them, so that other people get that experience that they may not have the opportunity to have because of what type of market it is. So I appreciate people who come back once they branch out and learn these different things and bring it back, because it makes the people in Charlotte feel like they're not left out or left alone, or people are forgetting about them. So I appreciate that, Lex.
Yes, I love that. Community, which makes me think about my next question. Community is so important in the arts. It's, you know, very important. I don't want to say more important than dance, but it is a very strong component. Your community, your people that support you, that if you're a teacher, who you pour into, who you train, if you are a choreographer, who you place your work on, you know, how are they able to bring your vision to life? So community is so important. My next question is, do you feel like you are a part of the Charlotte dance community? There is this thing where I've noticed, again, I've seen the good, the bad, and all the things, but there was this one phase where everybody was like, I'm gonna just do me. I'm not doing that person. I'm just gonna, and they're back. They're not connecting with other dancers. They're not wanting to work with other dancers. It's very segregated. It's very just like, ooh. I was hearing that a lot, and it was very troubling, because again, you can't do you as a dancer, because you're going to be dancing by yourself all the time. No one's going to really be able to, you know, express or experience the art form. So for everyone on this call, do you feel a part of the Charlotte dance community? Do you think we have community? And what does, or what would make you feel like you belong more? Those that leave and come back to the city, those that, you know, provide classes, provide opportunities. What would make you feel like you're a part of a community more? Yes, Brandy.
I'm sorry. So I would say in the years that I was in Charlotte for about 4 years. Just bouncing from the different studios that I was able to go to, I do think there was a phase where, like you said, it was very segregated. It was like, you can go to this place or you can go to that place, but people weren't really like working together, or it was just very segregated. And I hate the fact that as soon as I left, I just seen everybody coming together, all these visuals and networking and I've seen a lot of progression in this past year from the outside looking in now. I've seen a lot of progression as far as people from certain studios, and I'm saying more so hip hop, because that's what I was mainly doing. I've seen a lot of progression in the past year as far as people working together because at the end of the day,
the Charlotte community, like that's our home. That's who we got. We can't depend on anybody from we can't depend on anybody from the outside to help us come up. So we got to work together. So I would say there's a lot of progression that has been made.
I agree. There's a whole lot of if you just go down Camp North End, there's a video shoot happening on one corner or another, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody's recording a visual, so don't walk in front of the camera. Anyone else? Let's see. I thought I saw. Oh, Courtney. Hi, Courtney.
Hey guys. How is everyone? Well, say Andy. I was in college. I didn't know. I went to college in Winston-Salem, but then when I moved back to Charlotte, I didn't know more about other studios besides the studio I came from, which was like a competition studio. And then I saw Anna's studio at the time. I think it was called something. I was like, oh, when I go back to Charlotte, I'm going to go dance there. And so since being in Charlotte, I would definitely say like Anna, Allison and other dancers. Big, kind of like almost advocates for dance pretty much. And I would definitely say getting involved in like the Charlotte, and also had something, what is it called? Where they had it uptown where they would block off the streets. So I would Anna
Charlotte, stuff like that.
Charlotte. It was, I know Taste of Charlotte was one, and it was another, it was like a community, like a big community dance event, and they had different dance studios and people kind of,
I think I remember partnering in Blumenthal to get that off the ground. National Dance Day, I think it was.
Right. So I would definitely say like different opportunities like that have really arisen in Charlotte, because with me growing up dancing at a studio, I was like, we didn't do any of this stuff. Like we had certain things that we would do, but I would definitely say over the years, I have seen a lot more diversity, I would say, within the dance community. However, we still have some work to do, but I would definitely say I have seen some diversity within Charlotte over the years, and it's very exciting to see.
It is encouraging, and you know, it's been so much that has happened. There are so many just venues that didn't even exist just 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So yeah, it's happening, guys. We just got to stay encouraged. We have to stick together, stay supportive of each other, stay enthusiastic. Yeah, I got tongue tied. But yeah, it starts with us. We are the ones that have to just take conversations like this and continue them in our small circles, in our organizations, in our friend groups, even our non-dancer friends. Their perspective, they may have experiences that have shaped their perspective, and you know, you being in their dance friend can just be another form of enlightenment and insight on things. So I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're right at an hour, but we have more to talk about. So if you could stay on, or if you came in a little bit late and you want to chime in on the conversation, please do. Has there been anything that we maybe didn't cover? I feel like there were some hands that went up and I might have missed them. Yeah, I don't know if my camera's can you just that could be our little dance. That could be our thing. Unmute your camera and just have at it.
Thank you. I think I don't know what the solution to this is, but you asked if we felt part of the community, and I feel like I'm part of the modern dance community, and I feel like that is pretty white, and I feel like I'm part of like the arts community at large, but I don't feel very connected to dancers outside of the modern dance community. And I would love to feel more connected. I feel really disconnected from the dance community completely right now because of COVID, but so I'm trying to remember back to like before this all started. But when I lived in DC for a couple years before I moved here, and there was like a couple hubs of performance spaces, or where you could rent to teach or rehearse, and having a hub, one space where lots of different kinds of dancers were coming and performing and taking class and renting space and rehearsing, there was just a lot more crossover because literally they were in the same space. And I feel like this is not the only solution. It's a piece of the puzzle of solutions, I think. But I think if there was a space that felt dedicated to dance, that was accessible to multiple kinds of dance, that was affordable, where there was parking, that's a lot to ask. But that we were all sort of like using and utilizing. And so you would go for your show or your rehearsal and see the flyer of somebody else's show or see them in rehearsal and you start a conversation afterward. I think this, like, having a space where we can come together and meet and talk and see each other's work and engage. And I don't feel like there's that in Charlotte. I think that there are spaces that big companies can perform in, and then there are warehouses where we can kill our feet on concrete floor that the rest of us are subjected to. And I'm getting too old for that. So where's this space where we can all be together and also take care of our bodies by having what's needed for a dance performance?
Cameron, can I tag on to that? As speaking as a non-dancer, don't have one dancer's bone in my body. What would that space look like in terms of, what kind of floor is needed, what kind of space is needed, that kind of thing. So for those of us who do kind of manage spaces, on an art scale, we know what y'all are looking for.
I'll kick it off. I think just a convertible space, a space that can accommodate the different styles. So you might need different types of flooring. So something that isn't going to be like too much trouble to like slide up or slide down. I feel like there's so many new floorings that are available now. They are expensive, like real expensive, but they're easy to kind of pop up and pop down. But then just something that easily accessible. So like a simple way to reserve. So it's not a bunch of paperwork. It's not a bunch of like red tape. It's a simple request. If there's a fee associated, something that is, very, I won't say very modest, but doable, because a lot of dancers, we have to diversify our income. It's not like we make $1 million. And so having to invest in your classes and your equipment and things like that, it can be very challenging. So if we are trying to budget for utilizing a space, I think something that is just, a reasonable price, something that's simple to reserve, that has a great system. So there's not a lot of like crossover or people kind of, it's not available because now everybody wants to get onto it. But I think just having the convertible flooring is number one, definitely mirrors. And even like mirrors where you can have maybe like a curtain that comes across. And I'm saying all these things off the top of my head because at one point I wanted to open up a space like that, or at least have a section of our building where it was come one, come all, whoever wanted to use it, because it is something that I think would be very, very beneficial for a city like Charlotte.
Would some of y'all be, and I'm assuming when we say Charlotte, we mean like the Charlotte Metro. Okay.
And I'd love to add, because I'm very passionate about this. So I came from Charlotte, from Johannesburg, South Africa, and the space that I miss is the community space, and it was funded by the city. And this was a space where people had performances, they had rehearsals, and it was simple. Everybody who's an artist of dance was available to the space. It was city funded. It was not required for dancers to pay and all this stuff. And there was a simple form you fill out and get approval to be in the space. And it was just amazing. And I was very young when I went to Johannesburg, South Africa. So I thought this was how every city was. And I found out, why don't we have this space? And I was like, so I always advocate that Johannesburg, South Africa do it. We could do it, especially if we have tax money here. We could definitely do it. So I'll be more than happy to get your email and send you the proposal from the manager of that space. So you can have like a visual about how it's done. Also, New York City has one. Atlanta has a space like that, but it's for artists like myself. I don't have a physical space and I'm not going to get one. But I definitely appreciate, by the way, my friends who are here that I rent out space from because they have affordable prices, because we don't get paid for the performance until performance happens. So paying like $30 plus, you know, really, like I cap at 25, 27, those are reasonable, but paying money out before you get paid for the performance is like, you don't have really space or time to fill that out. It's not fundable for an artist. So yeah, let me get that email and I will send you those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all caught in the chat, but this is something that our organization is actually starting to finally work on. We have space now in our lives. So we started a facility committee to think about where our next space is for the Charlotte Cirque and Dance Center, because we're also having this problem in the circus community in Charlotte, because just a training facility requires some things like you guys were talking about for dance. So we are talking about it. We're all talking about a very versatile performance space that it has, and it's not going to be uptown located. So trying to get into an area of Charlotte that's underserved in the arts is a key passion of mine, because I grew up in Little Gastonia down the road where it was very underserved. So I get that. So yeah, you'll hear more about it soon, because we're going to have a community meeting on it, but we're just getting all of our ducks in the row before we announce. So I'd love to have you guys join that community meeting in the next few months or so. Look for it.
Yes.
March-ish.
Oh, I love that. We will be there. You did put that information in the chat?
Yeah, I'll make sure, Anna, you get an email to send it out to folks who want to join, but it'll be like a posted on Facebook event and stuff to sign up for that community chat, kind of like this.
Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Real quick, Alexis, you wanted to chime in, and then we'll do a little kumbaya.
Okay, I just wanted to say that maybe like a dance recreation center. Recreation centers is where I grew up. My mom would drop me off and feel safe. So something like that would be cool, where we had like different rooms dedicated for not necessarily different things, but different size rooms. And then they also have like convertible mirrors. We can move the mirrors around. So if you want to shoot a video, you can do that. If you want to just rehearse, you can do that. So I think that would be cool, like a dance recreation center.
Love it, love it, love it.
Anna, can I jump in real quick before we go any further? Yes. I know that we're losing a few folks, and before we lose anybody else, I just want to say, thank you to everybody who has spoken up and just sat in on this conversation tonight. Secondly, I want to say one thing that I think that we as an arts community do not do well is interdisciplinary networking. We don't really do that incredibly well. And so I encourage all of the dancers who are here tonight to join us next month and all of the subsequent months this year, so that you guys can hear what folks from the comedy scene are saying and what actors are saying and models and photographers, so that we can all work together a little better. It's always going to be the last Monday of the month at 7 o'clock. So I believe Kitty put in the chat our web address, so you can head on over there to RSVP for next month and to find out what we have planned for the rest of the year as we continue to hang up or hang out, whichever you choose. Sorry, friend, to interrupt you.
Yes, you guys are wonderful. And then, we also have these really cool shirts. Joy and I are wearing them. And Joe got his on too. So yes, we have merch available if you want to wear your support of diversity on and off stage. And we have an amazing pledge too. So if any of you guys, feel called to do so, just share it on your social media, share it on your stories, put it on your posts, and let everyone know that we are in this together. Okay, so this is the end of our call. You can hang up or hang out. I think when I did my little kumbaya, everybody thought that was like the end of the call, but it's fine. It's totally fine. I love you guys. I think this is such a great thing. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So peace. Anybody want to hang out, chill out?